Um, my tongue still hurts. Don't you hate it when you eat a bunch of hot food and then you wake up the next morning and your tongue's burnt because you ate a bunch of
Yeah.
hot food and you didn't drink enough water?
Yeah,
Now
that
you got.
feeling sucks.
I feel like so cotton mouthed. I'm drinking water all the time, but I actually and I get this problem a lot because of in South Texas, all the food is very hot and filled with tomatoes and spices. But
I
apparently,
don't
if you
think I
put
could
honey
survive
in your
that.
mouth, yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't think I could survive that. I am very white and very sensitive to spicy food.
Yeah, that is. Well, I don't know. My sister is also like pretty sensitive to that, and there's like plenty of blend or rather B or GERD compliant foods, I guess, because I don't know, sometimes my acid reflux like fucks with me, and I have to literally like the only thing that's not spicy here is like the dollar store mashed potato bag. You put it on the stovetop, eat some mashed potatoes.
Mm.
But anyway, I just found out that honey is apparently a good remedy for a burning tongue. So I just poured a bunch of honey in my mouth and let it sit for a while, and it actually does work. But I've probably done it like so much. I think I've drinking half a bottle of honey today, and I don't think I should be doing that.
I should probably keep that in mind next time I ever burn my tongue. Like, I mean, it's not gonna be anything spicy, but I do cook. So if I burn my tongue in that way, then yeah.
Yeah,
But if I ever decide to eat anything spicy, I would just have milk candy.
milk. Yeah,
Like just
milk is good.
yeah,
Milk does
like
keep things normal.
like I've heard it's way better for that than water.
Yeah, because milk does like neutralize the spice. Water just kind of moves it from one place to another.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I don't know what's been happening with me, but I've been dealing with some phlegm in my throat. My sister thought it was strep throat, but it's not strep throat. I haven't been coughing. I
Oh,
mean,
oh, no coughing.
any coughing has been voluntary. Just me trying to get the phlegm out. But like between that and my palate feeling swollen the other day. I don't know what it is, but that's kind of why I sound the way I do right now. So I've just been taking cough drops and chloroseptic all day.
That is interesting that no cough, but the throat is still sore. And that's
Yeah,
gotta.
like I don't feel I haven't felt lethargic either. Like no lethargy, no fever. I don't know. Is it just? I don't know if it's just like shouldn't even be a common cold because then there'd be a fever, right?
Yeah, there, or at least some kind of internal heat temperature rising up, or I would think it anyway.
I don't know.
Mysteries of space and time.
And
Anyway,
I've been
yeah.
able to taste stuff, so it's not COVID.
Okay, so that's. Okay, well, that is good, at least that it's not COVID.
Yeah.
Remember.
We'll find out.
Remember, COVID-19 turns 6 this year, so make sure to buy a bunch of school supplies for the first grade, everybody.
Well,
This goes out.
you say it turns 6. It was found December 31st, so it's basically 5. Oh,
We
it is
find,
5, but yeah.
I thought it was found in November of 2019.
It was found December 31st.
No shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I thought I found some evidence that it was discovered in, or rather, some symptoms were discovered in China as early as November. And then there were rumors that it may have been that some Americans may have had it as early as September. But I don't think any of that's, there's a lot of speculation, I guess.
Yeah, I don't remember, but honestly, I don't really feel like looking into that right now. That's not what this podcast's about.
Right. This podcast is about music, and this is the Fox and the Mage podcast. Hello, everybody.
My name is Mageclick,
My name is Foxx Navarro.
and
And,
we have given each other some interesting albums to talk about. You wanna tell the audience the theme?
yeah, so the theme is kind of quasi-obscure B tier and C tier acts, the side projects of members of those bands that are even more obscure.
That's right. And what did I give you?
I received the album Grismask by Grismask, also known as IH3, depending on what website you're looking at.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like Spotify calls him IH3, Bandcamp calls him Grismask. And even then, Spotify does call him Grismask if you're just looking up their solo single, Spiritual Dentist, which is one of the funniest songs I've ever heard, by the way. Y'all should listen to that.
I should have checked that one out. I did not because it wasn't on the project, but I do need to get into that. And for those who don't know, Grismask is a project involving Sebastian Murphy of Viagra Boys, the lead singer of Viagra Boys.
Who have a new album out as of the day we're recording this.
I listened to it at the gym. I thought it was okay.
I need to listen to it. Like I've heard Man Made of Meat. I thought it was really cool, but I'm kind of a sucker for post punk and dance punk.
That was a good single, and I thought the album pretty much lives up in that vein. I guess I like Cave World better, but it's not that
My beloved.
That's my mini review of Viagra Boys. Is that it's not as good as Cave World because Cave World is like a concept album and shit, and this is like a collection of songs, but it's a good collection of songs. So, I like it. I like Viagra Boys. I fuck with them heavy.
Nice.
And Mageclick, what did I give to you?
You gave me "Scum With Boundaries" by the I.L.Ys, which is a band featuring Zach Hill and Andy Morin, aka the drummer and keyboardist of Death Grips, and some other guy, I'm pretty sure.
So what we have, basically, we have Viagra Boys without the punk, and we have Death Grips without the hip hop, and we have two projects that do really, we kind of see what those two sounds would be like. It is like kind of seeing, like I don't know how to describe it, like a sandwich. You're seeing a really, really good deli meat, and you're just looking at the deli meat, and it may seem unfamiliar outside of the context of the sandwich, but you can see it, you sink your teeth into it, and you're just tasting something pure, and something concentrated.
Right.
I don't know. I know why I went to sandwiches. It's not like I'm hungry right now.
This is where the mind goes sometimes. Anyway, since I began last time, since I started with my review last time, I figured you can do your review first this time.
With pleasure. Okay, so I guess the big thing about Grismask is, and I don't know if I should have specified this earlier, but this is like a free jazz project, jazz improvisation. I think there are kind of different words, but it's under the umbrella of chaotic jazz, and you can definitely hear. Because the thing about Viagra Boys is that they are one of those rare 21st century creatures, a rock band that uses a saxophone. So, like the drums and the pianos and the keys and only about half of these songs actually feature Murphy on the vocals, but you do get and on those songs, I feel like this is Viagra Boys music, but again, without the punk. And what does punk provide to music? It provides structure, repetition, rigidity, and I use that term neutrally. And it does give like a solid, like a clean, like course for all the other ideas to coalesce around something. And then without that, you do have just this messy, springy chaos. This messy, springy chaos going around, and I think it's a lot of fun in a lot of ways, but I also, I'm not much of a jazz person, but I also believe that, being open-minded about things is important. So I approach this like I would approach any other project, and with respect for the conventions of the genres. But I so in a lot of ways it's fun, chaotic, unusual, and then in some ways it feels like it's improvisational. Like some of the composite, like wine glass up your ass. I love the first fucking wine glass up your ass. I love the way the song opens because it's very boom, 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 boom. It seems like it's building up to something. It seems like it's progressing, but it doesn't really do anything with the energy that it has. And
That's fair.
so it fizzles out a bit. And I think that about some of the, like, Bird Dog and ICU, I also thought suffered a bit from just not having too many interesting musical ideas to sink their teeth in.
That's definitely fair. I feel like if you're not actively paying attention to the run times, probably wouldn't know that you're on another song sometimes.
That can be a thing, yeah, especially with okay, so this album is that's the thing, because in my head I was okay, because the last album I was talking about was Lulu, and that's like an hour and 30 minutes. It's very dense. It's a collaboration between two of the most acclaimed Western musical artists of the past 50 years. It's this very long, very dense project, and this is like 8 tracks, about a little over half an hour. And only 3 of the songs have lyrics, so it's not going to have that much to discuss in comparing it to. Sorry, I'm not going to have that much to discuss compared to Lulu, but I do. There's lots to dissect here, and I do think that some of the instrumental, and I don't want to be that person who's like, oh, I'm only here for Sebastian Murphy, I want to hear some Viagra Boys weirdness, or I don't like the song, because I like Allergic to Cats. I thought that one was pretty good.
Yeah, that one's probably my favorite of the instrumentals.
Itchy Sweater, I actually thought that made me feel, that song sounds like you're wearing an itchy sweater. Like it's very kind of, I don't know, it's like consistent, but it's also a bit kind of runs in circles a little bit. It kind of gets into you, and then you just, I don't know. It does give off the sensation of having an itchy sweater just by being that little things of like managed chaos. So I thought that did pretty good at conveying its emotions. But so there are 3 so those are like the 5 instrumentals, and there are 3 songs with vocals. The title track, Grismask, Hello Concrete, and Up on the Hill.
Grismask by Grismask from the album Grismask.
Not to be confused with Black Sabbath from the album Black Sabbath by the band Black Sabbath.
True. Truly two equal songs of equal quality and importance.
I know Ozzy Osbourne never sang in the second language, because I literally think this.
Infernal.
That's a good point. But I think this might be the first time I've heard Sebastian Murphy speak in Swedish or sing in Swedish, because he did grow up partially in America and in Sweden, so his English is like very good. He has a good, distinct American accent. That it can be easy to forget that they are a Swedish band, because that's the other thing about Viagra Boys, is that it's not their entire thing is a put on, at least a little bit.
They're very satirical,
and it's satirical specifically of like Texas shit kickers, and that's what I'm from. That's my family are Texas shit kickers, or the Mexican version of that anyway. So in a way, him like strutting around in his cowboy hat, his jeans, his like tattoos, and like that Muerte tattoo especially. I see that and I recognize that, okay, this is like somebody from, it's like Rednecks almost, because it's like specifically a Swedish artist looking at kind of Southern or trashy Southern American culture and wearing it as a costume and an aesthetic for their music. But, while Rednecks was, always like a joke band that didn't really take themselves too seriously, Murphy at least did grow up in America, and he does seem like, granted, I don't know every detail of his autobiography, but it certainly reads and scans as more authentic, certainly as more appreciative of the positives of the culture. And, a lot of those songs are like Punk Rock Loser are about the virtues of, kind of being this lonesome, lone wolf type of rugged Southern type of man. And, I like that song specifically for that reason. It kind of puts a praise on this archetype that, I grew up around. And in Texas, you see quite a bit. And so because of how well that put on can be, and then, in Grismask, he just starts singing in Swedish, like with a good Swedish accent, but it's still very clearly his voice. It's surreal. And I feel like that's kind of like almost ignorant of me to say, because obviously, okay, he speaks more than one language, whoop-de-doo. That's not unique among Europeans, but again, it certainly is, and I think, and I'm going to talk about, like, spoiler alert, but Up on the Hill is my favorite song from this album, and I think
that's totally fair.
And I think, because that lack of a put on, gives, I don't want to say more authenticity to it, but because when I listen to a song like Into the Sun off of Welfare Jazz, as emotional as that song is, I don't know if I'm hearing Sebastian Murphy as much as I'm hearing this character that he is portraying and doing a good job portraying. But I didn't have that problem with this album. When I heard, lyrics on Hello Concrete or Up on the Hill, I heard Murphy. I heard Murphy talking to me, not a character, and I think I'll get to Up in the Hill in a second. But there was that lack of an ironic put on made the, I don't know, it wasn't a sound I was expecting from it, and maybe that's me being a bit unfair to Viagra Boys on my part, but I think they do kind of do it to themselves with their big emphasis on aesthetics, at least a little bit.
I guess that's fair assessment. Like I guess it's kind of a similar thing with Death Grips to tie everything together. It's like most Death Grip songs are basically seem to be character pieces. Like when it's like I think RNGP is like, and maybe one of the songs, the only song that I'm pretty sure is Stefan singing and not Ride. Ride is a character.
Yes, exactly. And I've heard plenty of people say that. I know exactly what you mean by that.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's a fun way to tie the two bass bands together.
Yeah, and shit, I had a point. I forgot what I was going with that.
Oops, sorry.
No, it's okay. But anyway, so yeah, the title track, Grismask, which according to Google Translate translates to pig mask. And this is the only song. This is the only song on the album in Swedish. The other two Murphy songs are in English. And so he is.
So the album cover. So the album cover portrays the album title correctly. Then
it would appear so. That's a mask with a pig on it. Yep. And so I had to translate these lyrics because there's a lot of them. It's a song that's basically him just shouting over very dissonant instrumentals. And it's a weird like first impression because the rest of the album isn't quite as chaotic as this one. So it does give a strong, I don't know, a bit misleading. I don't want to say misleading, but
it definitely threw me off on the first listen. I'll say that.
Because I also am a fan of albums that make a strong first impression like that, and it certainly was a decent one.
Yeah, I do like it when loud angry guys ramble at me.
And this song, translating the lyrics, I'm not quite okay. Like, why are you always angry at Felix? No, and this is Google Translate. I'm sure it's not the most accurate translation of Swedish to English, but it's what I have. Why are you always angry at Felix? No, yes, even before I came here, I heard Felix had such an angry girlfriend. But when you talk to me, you're not angry at all. Don't you like him one bit, even though you've been married so long? Oh, yes, I've certainly held him. Inaudible. Never learned to caress me? He's never learned to caress me. Ah! Ha ha! Pig hat mask? Pig hat, pig mask. Diadem with snap. $49. Damn, how expensive. Damn, what a piece of shit. Damn, what a piece of shit. And this, it just goes on like that for like 5 minutes or so. But in Swedish, which is, fun to you. But basically, it just seems to be this story of kind of discord and dissonance in people, and using the kind of animal motifs to compare human behavior to that of animals, much like Cave World, for example. Kind of dove into those themes in much more detail. And which is album, for context, this album came out a few years before Cave World. This is actually a pandemic project.
Have you ever read the Bandcamp page for this album?
I did. That's how I listened to the album, on Bandcamp, because it was the only one I could be sure I was actually listening to the thing on, or I was listening to the right album.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it is. This is just like one of those projects that people did in 2020, right as. Now, we said this podcast wasn't about COVID, but it kind of is instrumental to the history of this album, at least.
We're tying everything back together, even the stuff we didn't want.
Yeah, it's all coming back, even the bad things.
Yeah.
But yeah, but this does have like that energy of one of those. Yeah, it was the pandemic. Everyone was inside, and we were like, okay, let's do something unusual with this. Our newfound change in circumstances, this newfound free time that a lot of people magically got. And so yeah, this came out a bit before Cave World, and then Cave World itself, makes fun of the kind of conspiracies that came out of COVID-19.
Oh yeah,
the pandemic.
I'm pretty sure the Adrenochrome song is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
I fucking love Creepy Crawlers, man. That shit kills me.
Yeah, honestly, it might be just as. Honestly, that song is basically a Grismask song.
It kind of is, yeah. Like you can really if you listen to this album and then to something like that, where it's just a Grismask song, but a little more punk and a little less jazz.
Yeah, I basically immediately thought specifically Spiritual Dentist. These conspiracy theories are equally as incoherent, and so it fits, and yeah.
You didn't check out that link that I sent you. You didn't check out the link that I sent you, and now they're turning kids into adrenochrome. Yeah.
You can't be a dentist.
You do.
Yeah. Good luck extrapolating a meaning from that song, by the way.
Yeah, I will do my best. I'm listening as soon as I get off the call. Anyway, so Grismask, yeah, I definitely respect that. Hello Concrete, it's very rhythmic, and I like that, but I also couldn't really find any lyrics for the song, and it's hard to listen to the lyrics because they're a bit muffled with the chaos and the production, so I wish I had more to say about that. I wish to say, do you have any special insight to the song you think I should know about?
None that I can think of. I don't really hear any talk about this album. I was just introduced to this specific side project from a friend on Discord one day.
Interesting. Yeah, because it really does. It has. Oh, now this album has 19 ratings on Rate Your Music.
Yeah, it's.
I'm about to give it. I just gave it number 20.
Nice. Yeah, that is the theme we were going for.
Yeah, that is obscure, all right. Free jazz, European free jazz, avant-garde jazz. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's very Zappa-esque, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it, I think. And so yeah, up on the hill, track 7. I think this is the best song because I think it does the most with the potential of the project. The jazz is pretty well done. It is loud. It's dense, manic, chaotic, and again, the way you said that, like on Death Grips is on GP, you hear Stefan and not necessarily MC Ride. Up on the hill, he's talking about, like a kind of depression, or what I interpreted as depression, being stuck in your place, engaging in self-harming habits, even though they're wrecking you slowly, being lonely, isolated. It felt very viscerally real to it. Like there was this discomfort that I got from it, but in a very good way that you don't get from the more. And it's not like the song isn't comedic, but it is also kind of a tragic comedy. Or maybe
he's a good way of putting it.
Or maybe he's just blowing off some steam. I don't want to put thoughts in his head, but I definitely heard a lot of frustration, a lot of self frustration, a lot of not being able to understand or appreciate your environments, or being able to kind of break out of your own little nooks. Like I thought it was those line about like sitting up on the hill waiting to die and then being paranoid at other people looking at your hill. Yeah, those songs, that stuck with me, and I really did fuck with that song pretty heavy.
That's fair. That is a very 2020 lyric.
Yeah. Again, pandemic projects. There are many of them. Remember Gorilla's song? We were supposed to get Gorilla's Song Machine Part 2. What happened to that?
Oh, yeah. Instead we got Cracker Island.
The Island of Crackers.
I mean, if the goldfish crackers, I'm in.
That's a good type of cracker. I would go to an island with nothing but little crispy baked cheese little things.
Yeah, though I think that would upset my stomach because I can't stop eating them.
Oh no. So yeah, I guess that's my thoughts on the project song by song. Overall, I thought it was very interesting to see, and I guess like I'm not sure how much Sebastian Murphy had to do with the songs he wasn't involved with, but he did choose to work with these people, and that he clearly has a respect and appreciation for the talents of these random jazz musicians if he decided to work with them. And what I heard from these jazz musicians was a little things were messy, and I think having somebody with having a vision, whether that vision comes from Murphy or whether that comes from the other people in the band, but I think having like a central vision to tether around gives these songs and these sounds their best way to express themselves. So yeah, I thought it was all right. Some of the songs were pretty good. Some of the songs were but yeah, that's kind of all I have on it. There's kind of short, kind of sweet, interesting listen.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on it too. It's like I raved over Spiritual Dentist, but like it might have been a bad first impression because I kind of wish, because it made me think there was gonna be more, that their actual album was gonna be more like that. But like that's not the album's fault. But on its own, I definitely don't find it. I definitely didn't think there was that much I could personally tether onto in terms of in terms of like the actual songs. Like I like don't get me wrong, I do like me some free jazz, but usually there's gotta be some kind of anchor to it, like a good bass, some hard hitting drums. Like I'm very much a rhythm person. And
yeah, so am I, and I think that's reasonable to want.
Yeah, I feel like the instrumental track specifically kind of lacked that.
Mm-hmm. it would have been nice if some of those songs had more cohesion, and some of them did, like again, Itchy Sweater and at least the first half of Wine Glass Up Your Ass, I thought were pretty well orchestrated. So, clearly this band does have and of course the songs with Murphy. So I think the band does have the ability to do that, and it would be nice. And like I said, like every pandemic project, I'm assuming that we're never going to hear from these guys under this moniker again. But I think it would be pretty nice if they gave it another shot.
Spiritual Dentist came out in 2023.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I guess there's something they released this year. It seems to be like different versions of this, different parts of the same song, if I'm reading it correctly.
Okay.
Might just be a thing they do if they ever want to dick around. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. I'll be waiting for them.
Yeah.
If and when they do.
Yeah. So, Scum With Boundaries.
Scum With Boundaries.
I noticed that this was actually about the same length as the Grismask album, so that was convenient.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out 34-minute albums, or 37 minutes.
I think it was 38. It doesn't really matter. But yeah.
That's a good length for an album. Not too long.
It is.
Fits on one record.
Yeah. Yeah, so the I.L.Ys, I had heard of them for a while before you gave me this album. I just never checked them out until then.
Okay.
Like it's just kind of a name. It's just a name that I saw every now and then, because I used to be a massive Death Grip stan. It's like anyone who's ever. It's like, people. It's like people that know me know how much I rave over Swans. I used to be like that with Death Grips back in the start of the pandemic. And actually, I'd say more so. So I had seen that name floating around a few times.
Did you hear anything like associated with that name that gave you any impression as to the direction of the project?
No, I had no idea how this was going to sound until I listened to it. All I could guess was that Zach Hill was on it, so there's probably going to be some really heavy drumming, and I was right.
And how?
And but it definitely wasn't. When I listened to the first song, "Disastrous Looks," I thought this was gonna be an indie pop record, something like I don't know how, but they found me. Boy, was I wrong about that.
I guess it is an indie pop record. It's also an electronic record. It's also a noise rock record. It's also a noise pop record. It's also an art punk record. It's also I could go on.
Yeah. For that specific song, I just wrote like it sounds kind of airy due to the heavy reverberated vocals, but I'd recognize that drumming anywhere. Like, because I feel like I had heard other Zach Hill stuff. Like I've heard a Hella album, and I recognize the drumming there too.
Totally, his drumming is really sharp when he was in Hella.
Yeah.
And it's not that it isn't sharp when he's playing with Death Grips, but it's not so much the focus of a Death Grip song. He's just he's kind of a supporting player, a good supporting player, but all the same.
Definitely, yeah. It's like, yeah, I thought the song was cool. It wasn't my favorite, but it was a nice opening to the album. I think it sets the tone for rap. It's gonna be a bit out there. It's not gonna be insane, but it is definitely going to take you on some journeys. Peace and Quiet though was the first song that I saved. Like I just loved how scuzzy the guitar sounds on it. I think I said that before in Speed, and boy, I love scuzzy guitars, and this is very scuzzy, very 90s. And
yeah, definitely hear that Hella influence on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It also does the thing where just when I think it's about to go on for a bit too long, it changes. It just has a freaking key change towards the end, and I actually like it.
Yeah, I hate key changes, and that one was. I honestly didn't even
Same.
notice there was there. I didn't notice there was a key change there. It is
Yeah,
pretty smoothly done.
yeah. I'm surprised I noticed it. Like, I don't tend to like key changes either, but like, yeah, it was. It's like, okay, I was not expecting that. This works. This is like, okay, I guess we're doing this. This is really cool. Yeah, this is one of my favorites on here.
Nice.
Um, I think I like the next song even more though. Probably my favorites. Yeah, stop. Oh, I know. Yeah, it's either this or another one coming up. But "Stop Yelling in the Museum" is really cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it definitely has my favorite vocal performance on the album.
I love the way the horns in the verse just like go while the everything's progressing forward. It's one of those songs that makes you feel like you're driving very fast.
Definitely. When I listen, I just imagine that someone was there's just some punk kid was just listening to the commentary in the museum with the headphones, and you just tell him to skip to get to the good parts, but he thinks it's like an Alexa, tell him to skip, and then the museum security just telling him to stop yelling in the museum.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's something like it's such an unusual phrase, but it's so cathartic to just imagine just shouting that because it's like, yeah, don't yell in a museum. That's incredibly rude.
Yeah, it's like
To do it, and
it's like
shouting at that at someone probably feels very nice.
it's like the life advice that Ween gave when they title a song "Don't Shit Where You Eat." It's definitely true.
Yeah, just good wisdom, good advice.
Yeah. As for starts with a C and ends with a U, I never figured out what starts with a C and ends with a U. It's probably something simple that I'm not getting.
The name Cantu starts with a C and ends with a U. That's all I got. Maybe the song's about someone named Cantu.
Maybe. I didn't really have much to say about this one when I listened to it. Yeah, it was definitely heavier on the synths though. That I did notice.
Hmm. I think that's the first like super synth heavy track on the project.
Yeah, that was what I noticed. It was like okay, we had our little punk song. You know, we're yelling. Okay, now we're gonna bring in the synths. Now we're gonna bring in Andy Morin.
That's it. I'm trying to look up information. I really should have. Let's see. Okay, the top comment on Genius just says this is about Zach and Andy confessing his love for Cthulhu. I don't know if that's a meme, but it does start with a C and end with a U, so we can't discount the possibility.
True. Maybe Cthulhu just likes to rave.
He probably does. I don't know. He can't be happy being all doom and gloom all the time.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, someone should just give him a nice glow stick and just let him wild out.
I gotta get Cthulhu out to the bush doof.
Yeah.
Bush doof.
And I'm looking at the lyrics. It might be that because they mentioned want to have a seance with the clothes on, so that might be what the seance is about.
The Serengeti has nothing to lose. It never had its hands on your slippery shoes. It's never the kind of dreams I've had about you, where anything is possible. Okay, you could do songs about some kind of worship or admiration. Maybe love.
Yeah.
It goes farther than that. But, given the people in the band, these aren't going to be conventional lyrics. There's going to be some, like, layers of, like, analogy and metaphor to them.
Yeah. Yeah. The next song, She's a Genius. I remember, there's another one that I saved. I also know that there was a certain riff that plays throughout that sounds like a cell phone.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What is that
Yeah.
riff?
It was a synth riff.
I know that. I guess off the top of my head, I'm just remembering the riff in the chorus going.
It was in the
Something like that.
verses. It was a very quick one.
Oh, it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
That is a yeah. There are a lot of this album is very hook heavy.
Yeah, I think that's why I like quite a bit. I like hooks.
Yeah, hooks are good.
It's like I like and don't get me wrong, riffs are really cool and all, but hooks tie everything together.
So I mean, there's a reason my favorite Black Dresses album is still Peaceful as Hell. I'm gonna be real.
Still need to listen to Black Dresses.
Because you start with Peaceful as Hell. That shit is catchy.
I will keep that in mind because all I know from them is Cartoon Network and Pussy Like a Bulldozer.
Very good song and a very good song. Pussy Like a Bulldozer, Pussy Like a Blown Out Speaker.
Yeah, I think my favorite line on this is life must be quite as amazing as it seems to make you want to murder everything. Yeah,
Classic Zach and Andy.
yeah, it's yeah, it definitely. I like me some. I like their wit. This is definitely my kind of wit. It's like I do like as much as I like to bask in the darkness. Sometimes it's nice to just bring it back with some light and make it just turn into something more sardonic instead of just overtly bitter.
Absolutely. Because some of that, bitterness just kind of grates after a while if there isn't any. If there isn't anything else to hook onto, it's just kind of depressing.
Yeah, that's why. I think that might be why I kind of fell off of Death Grips in recent years.
Yeah, because a lot of the shit is just like so much.
And also, like I found a lot of other punk bands too, so I can get my punk fix. Yeah, it's not like punk is the most it's not punk is like the most optimistic genre either, but usually they tend to be more upbeat at least.
Yeah, that upbeatness and that that'll do it for. That'll do it for you, yeah, because he needs to. I don't know. Jordy, not to get too off topic, but Jordy Greep once said something on an interview that he considers like joy to be the foundation of art, and so he tries to put a little bit of that in all of his everything that he touches, which is like kind of a vague concept to think about, but I do like the idea of like having some kind of baseline, like a white balance, almost something to like a baseline to ground and anchor every other emotion together.
Yeah, I could see that. Like I can't really think of a Black Midi or solo Jordy song that makes me cry. At least not like in terms of yeah, I can't really think it makes me cry even in terms of just pure beauty. It's just more like I'm taken for a ride.
Yeah, that's a good way to say, because even like I don't know, what's the most beautiful Black Midi song is probably something like Ascending Fourths.
Yeah,
Or
Marlene
something,
Dietrich maybe.
Ooh, yeah, Marlene Dietrich, and yeah, that one doesn't, and that's just like that one's just like good to listen to. It's
Yeah.
it's not like overwhelming or depressing necessarily. It's just it's pleasant in a very gorgeous way.
Yeah. Anyway, so the next song in here is actually the last song that I saved to my playlist. Hey Mind Reader.
Okay.
But honestly, it's probably my favorite. This is my favorite hook on the entire album.
Yeah, that.
Hey Mind Reader, no, I never felt me up.
Yeah, that I'm a sucker for any like song that's like this noisy, this energetic, and this kind of grandiose, for lack of a better term. Like the verses are very grandiose, and then the chorus just kind of puts everything back into center.
Yeah, it's like I think it helps. Yeah, it's very scuzzed out. It's just but like it's not overwhelming. It's like I'm just drifting along to the noise. Like I'd say like similar to this might be a bit of an oddball comparison, but I actually compare this to Dinosaur Jr.
I think that's a fair comparison. I think I mean of all like the kind of '90s alt indie bands, that seems the most kind of eccentric in the way that this is eccentric.
Yeah, like it's got that guitar tone where it's like yeah, it's not too abrasive, but there's definitely some feedback to it. Vocals are very laid back, but they're not sluggish.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. So I guess it is a bit more reverberated, but you know, like they're not making a Dinosaur Jr. song, they're making an I.L.Y. song.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, this is one of my favorites in a very no thoughts head empty kind of way.
Yeah, same honestly.
Yeah, but like that slacker-esque vibe actually continues into the next song.
Doing things that artists do.
Yeah, it's like whenever I saw the title, I kind of just read that to the theme of Maroon 5's "What Lovers Do."
Yeah, doing things that artists do. Ooh.
Two very equal songs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I do like the chorus on there too, where it's just I need to marry you, I need to stand with you. It's like just yeah, I like the variations on there. I like that kind of that kind of structure for a chorus. It works. It's very effective.
Yeah, I think so. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't love this, but yeah, I didn't love it enough to save it. I think it's also because it kind of came after Hey Mind Reader, but like it was still cool. And
Yeah.
and then the title track it's just an interlude.
Basically, yeah.
I didn't really have much to say about it. I wish the album ended here. I didn't really care. I didn't really care for the last 3 tracks that much, to be honest. Like, well, it's not entirely true, but like, Roll Your Eyes definitely felt like a lull compared to everything before it, and that includes the interlude.
See, I don't know. I like it, but in the sense that I don't know if it's I kind of like the energy for it. It seems a bit like kind of I don't know, like this song like I don't know if it's the chorus or the post chorus, but when the beat goes like that kind of felt like kind of No Love Deep Web ish.
That might be wild. No Love Deep Web is my least favorite Death Grips album.
Okay,
That might be a hot take, but like I don't know. I just never gelled with it as much as their others.
I mean, I don't know if it's a fan unfavorite, but it's definitely not the fan favorite. I think it is rare to see somebody who it's like a top 5 of theirs.
I tend to see it pretty praised, but like at the very least, it has some. At the very least, you know, it has No Love. The song is definitely one of their best songs. I think most people agree on that one at least.
Definitely, and for what it's worth, I'm pretty sure Lizette G has said that it's their favorite Death Grips album at some point.
That one surprised me.
So that's a high profile endorsement.
By the way, they are the person that showed me Spiritual Dentist.
Oh, I send them a thank you letter.
Yes. Yeah. Roll Your Eyes kind of happened. And I'm gonna be honest, I actively disliked I'm Gonna Have Sex.
Yeah, which is, I mean, honestly, that was if I had to pick, that would be my least favorite. But not that I don't like it. It's that I just don't. I mean, I heard it once. I know what the joke is. I don't like have any desire to go back.
I think the joke doesn't go far enough for me to find it funny. And also, I don't like the screaming.
Yeah, like I think didn't the Lonely Island do this exact song with a lot more oomph into it? You know, of getting like T-Pain.
Yeah, it's like I, not really a Lonely Island person either, but like that, but like it makes sense for a comedy group to do a song like this. I don't really think I didn't really need it from these guys. I didn't need that same joke from these guys done basically the same way.
Yeah, and
definitely didn't need it with the screaming. It's definitely the exact kind of screaming that I don't like.
Interesting. And how would you like compare that with like some of maybe just Stefan screaming in Death Grips?
I like Stefan screaming. So I guess I think it's more of just kind of guttural. It kind of made me think of like emo screaming. I don't really like emo screaming.
Emo screaming. Okay. And I guess that would be yeah, because this is coming more from a punk tradition, whereas Stefan comes from a rap tradition.
It's kind of punk too.
Definitely. And like, you know, punk and hip hop they're not even that like separate genres. They have a lot more in common than most people want to give them credit for.
Yeah, they are both about revolution and breaking free from societal norms.
And another thing that kind of scratches my head a bit about I'm Gonna Have Sex is that it's more explicitly a joke song in an album that, you know, songs like Stop Yelling in the Museum and even like parts of She's a Genius, you know, they're kind of goofy, they're silly, they're absurd, but I wouldn't call them jokes, you know, they're just, they're just that, you know, they're like unusual, but it's like a fully serious project. And this, you know, like at the back end of the album is kind of sticks out a little weirdly. Which is because this song might be the fan favorite. I mean, not just of the album, but of the I.L.Y's project as a whole.
Really,
this seems to be the song that people like the most. It's a song that I hear most talked about from the I.L.Y's. Seems to be their highest rated on RYM. Let me see what is on.
Oh, I'm sorry, I.L.Y's fan base. I don't get it.
And you know that they're gonna watch this video because they're like, somebody's talking about Scum With Boundaries. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Nobody talks about this out. Like a few people are gonna like look that up, watch it because we're one of the only people talking about it, and then they're gonna be so disappointed probably.
Yeah. Oh well. Like honestly, I feel like this might be ironic or coincidental. I don't know which, but like, this almost feels like this feels like this could work better as a Viagra Boys song.
Honestly, you know, if Viagra Boys released a song called "I'm Gonna Have Sex" that had these exact same lyrics, I think I would be willing to take it a lot more seriously.
Yeah,
because
like, it would,
and like. Yeah, that is such a good. That's such a good thing because like I wouldn't interpret it as a joke if they did it because like their baseline for humor is much different than what this project what the I.L.Ys consider their baseline for humor and shit.
Yeah, I.L.Y seems more generally absurdist than Viagra Boys.
Yeah, and Viagra Boys kind of more explicitly, I don't want to say blue comedy, but more kind of mixing the lowbrow with the highbrow.
Yeah, and very, very satirical and focused on stuff that people say in the real world.
If Viagra Boys released a song called "I'm Gonna Have Sex," there would be so many lines of like, "I'm bragging on the R incel subreddit. I'm bragging to my roommates who are also my parents." They would like shit like that, you know.
Definitely.
I would like that.
And honestly, it would probably sound better too.
And it would be a lot more. Yeah, kind of because the momentum does kind of halt on this one. It's a slower song.
Yeah. But luckily, the last song is definitely the best of the last three. It's fun, not amazing. Watches the taste out. Watches the taste of the last one out of my mouth at least. But I still didn't have. I still didn't really think much of it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not compared to the other songs on, and I do like I like Roll Your Eyes, I like Spiral, but I think yeah, you're right that the best parts of this album are on the first half.
Yeah, it's a front loaded album. Like that's fine. There's most albums are front loaded.
Yeah, that's yeah. Many are.
I guess with this song, it also doesn't help that the hook is the hook doesn't really give me much to say. It's just spiral to me, spiral through me. It's not really done in a catchy way for me to just go notes over like some of the others either. It's just kind of there. It's neat.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I get that.
No, I guess if I were to give a rating to this album overall, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10 if I had to do a number rating. It has some cool ideas, pretty much all in the front.
I would probably give Scum With Boundaries. If I'm being honest with myself, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10, and I'd give the Grismask one a 6 out of 10.
That's totally fair. Grismask would probably be a 6 for me as well, honestly. Maybe a 7 if I'm feeling generous.
The 7, because those good Grismask songs are like nothing else that you've heard before.
Yeah. Yeah, the songs on here, the songs on the I.L.Y's album that hit, they really hit. God damn.
Yeah, how?
Yeah. I think that's all I have to say about this album.
Well, and that's all I have to say about both projects. So, should we tease what we have in store for next episode?
Oh, yes. So, next episode, we're going to have, it's going to be, the theme is avant-garde metal, and we're going to have a special guest on here who gave us this theme, by the way. So, join us in the next episode featuring Crow of Cacophony. My name is Mageclick.
Special guest time. My name is Foxx Navarro.
Alright, and we are signing off. Peace.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.